welcome to Sister Chat, where we come together to connect, honor, advocate for, and teach one another. I'm Sister Carolyn Schaffer, and today we are highlighting the value of volunteerism. The people who give their time, their talents, and their heart to serve others. I'm joined by two wonderful women. Wow. On my right here is Kelly Davis, manager of Maumee Valley Habitat for Humanity, and Barb Coleman, longtime community volunteer and advocate. Thank you both for being here today. Kelly, let's start with you. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role at Habitat?
Of course. So again, my name is Kelly Davis. I'm the volunteer manager at Maumee Valley Habitat for Humanity. My role encompasses various things, but majority of it is just working, interacting with our volunteers and making sure that their experience is a safe one. That's number one in our organization is the safety aspect, and also just making sure that they're able to connect with what it is that they would like to do within Habitat. Habitat for Humanity is an international nonprofit. Our affiliate has been open since 1988, and we believe in our mission, which is to build communities, hope, and love, and making sure that we can provide affordable housing to everyone, which is our vision as well, that everybody deserves a decent place to live. So with that role, as far as just the verbiage of it all, if you were to come out and register and volunteer with us, I would be in charge of what you see online for our calendar events, providing the supplies for that event, and again, just the safety aspects and making sure that, again, the volunteers are safe.
Beautiful. Wow.
Yeah.
I can only imagine the many people that you meet
Absolutely.
that want to give themselves.
It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. And I'm sure that Miss Barbara would agree that we work with people that have a heart to give. Oh, why not? Why not enjoy that? Why not participate in that and continue to encourage them right along the way?
Do you sense that there are people that have themselves experienced difficulty and then knew what it was to get volunteer?
Yes, I think the majority of people that come on to volunteer, of course, is broad, right, age-wise, right, but also just having the heart to get back, wanting to make a difference in their community, looking to do so, and looking for that purpose to do so. A lot of people are looking to connect, and we're one of the ways to do that. As far as there's many, of course, in our community. So.
That is wonderful.
Thank you.
And Barb, I know you've been inside of many volunteer events because I even witnessed one when we visited. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how did you get involved?
Well, to me, volunteering, as Kelly said, is certainly about connecting and giving back. It's serving, it's building relationships, and it's not a one-way street. When I was teaching, I would take my fifth grade, it was like mandatory volunteering, and they would visit the kindergarten class, and we would do activities and read and all of those kinds of things. And people would say, oh, that is so good for the kindergartners, And I'd say, it's so good for the fifth graders.
Absolutely.
And that's how it is with volunteering.
Absolutely.
Sure, we give time and we give effort and we give skills, but it is very much a both and. It is not a one-way street.
Beautiful.
And many, many years ago when my children were very, very young, we started attending a different church, and I knew that saying I would volunteer, in this case it was teaching Vacation Bible School, was a way for me to meet people. You don't meet a whole lot of people sitting in a pew on Sunday morning.
Yeah, that's very true.
Not talk.
Yes.
Sure, I was providing a service, but I was getting something back, and that probably set the stage. And now I do, as you know, a variety of things. This is the joy of this part of life. You have a lot of choices.
So true.
And I volunteer here in the Leal Kitchen for when there are retreats, and I get to do my favorite thing, which is cook and share food. And I'm involved in a program called Soul Food that meets twice a month on Thursdays, aiming at restored citizens, people who have been incarcerated. It's supper, scripture, and support. And I provide the food. This is the
And her menus are so healthy.
Yeah.
always. And I also, in a connected thing, volunteer at First Wednesday, which is Reentry Coalition of Toledo's program, where folks who have been incarcerated come down, get all kinds of providers tell what they can do, and then folks can connect with services that they need. It's a one-stop shop.
What a blessing. What a blessing.
And I've kind of always volunteered at churches. They have a way of doing that. And currently at Monroe Street, one of the things I do is I volunteered to do the weekly newsletter. We don't have a full-time office staff, and that's it. I love doing it because I get to play on my computer and make things pretty. So it's very much a two-way street, though. I enjoy what I'm doing to provide help, to serve, but I'm also getting a lot back. I'm meeting people that I'd never meet otherwise.
They say that meeting people and interacting people are what's going to keep us going in life. And I have to say, even in working with the sisters, it isn't what I do, it's what they give me back. I get so much back. And you know, sometimes people think, oh, but you don't need another job at this point. And you're like, it's not a job. Working with people and volunteering to do whatever is just what life is all about. What do you think are some misconceptions about volunteering?
Oh, well, just to piggyback on what you said, as far as it being a job, that should be the first, as they say now, red flag. But that should be something that maybe that is not encompassing your real interest, your passion, your purpose. It's very important that you align with something you believe in, or share some type of connection with. Connection is very important in volunteering. And again, when you are actively in volunteering, it also helps you in your health, your overall mental, emotional, physical health. It keeps you in shape at times in what you're doing. And so I think the totality of a person's health and well-being is at the center of volunteering. And so you have to keep that in mind, regardless of if there is something that doesn't work out for you. Having options is key. You want to go somewhere where there's options, because what if you want to, like Barbara said, she's involved in many facets. So I think that that's probably a great positive for her to be able to pivot it, go to something, come back to it, pick back up, broaden it, make it bigger, make it smaller. And so when that individual, again, has the option and capacity to either dive in or pull back a little bit, and it's still there for them to do, that takes the pressure off of volunteering. That's another issue, is there pressure. And I like to tell my volunteers, listen, we're here. When you're ready, we're here. Don't feel the pressure to say yes if at the end of the day your schedule doesn't, and I'm sure you probably get a lot of it, my schedule doesn't line up to this. You know what? It's okay. When you have the time, and maybe I can make it so that maybe it's in our situation, maybe a half day of, or maybe a different way that you can contribute somehow to our mission, to our organization. So just taking that pressure off is what I would say too as well.
I like your idea of, working as a team.
Absolutely.
If you're not alone,
Flexible.
I mean, whoever we're working with, it's like you feel like you're team players, not that you have to be in charge.
Absolutely.
And it's just an added joy.
Yeah.
Barb, what do you think?
I think that one maybe misunderstanding is, again, I'm always about both and, that you have to volunteer for something you already know how to do, because I'm doing things I had no contact with, people who had been incarcerated, restored citizens. And an opportunity came along. A friend invited me to come along to First Wednesday, and a whole new world has opened.
Like that.
So I think that if someone is thinking, gosh, I'd like to volunteer, being alert to what opportunities might be coming along, or hearing somebody talk about something that is certainly not beyond what you have any interest or capabilities for. You do not want me building a house, but I'll bring lunch.
Now we love no experience required. That's our tagline. So let me be very clear, because the word construction can be a little, heavy-handed. But I'll tell you this: I guarantee, if you was to come on, you will have fun, because it's just
for sure.
It's a good time. It's a good time to have ours, and we make sure that we're flexible.
Absolutely. That's I say that just to be silly,
and that's just me pulling you to come on and join us, and be vice versa too, as well.
Like you need one more thing, right? I think sometimes we can look at it as, it can bog us down.
Yes.
But really, once you've given and you volunteered, you realize how much it lifes you, and it just calls your name.
Yes.
It's like when I listen to you, I feel like God planted a seed and led you to do what you're doing.
So, for sure.
And we're about His work. It's not our work, it's His work. And that's why it's so wonderful to walk in and realize, oh, we're just a team here.
That's right.
We're working together. Mm-hmm. Is there a particular story or a person that really touched you or you admired before you got into being a volunteer?
Go ahead.
Art?
Well, I think of the person that took me down to First Wednesday, who was a very good friend. Mm-hmm. And she and a number of other people in the Toledo community had been doing this. And one of the things that folks being released from prison struggle with, and the list is overwhelming, is a driver's license or a state ID card. Because where we live, it is very hard to have a job without a car. And so they had volunteers from Motor Vehicles Bureau and attorneys who would talk to folks about what it showed on their record and talk to them about what do you have to do to take care of this. Awesome. And so someone would come up and they would pull it up on their computer screen and talk to them. Well, it became apparent that if that record was printed and in everyone's hands, it could go faster and more people could be helped. And so Karen knew that I can handle a computer. And so that's my little niche. I go down and people sign in. I get their record printed. And then eventually at the end of the presentations, call names and get the papers in the right hands. And then the line goes through so quickly. Because we're not waiting to pull it up all the time. And they have a printout.
Okay.
So it was something I'd never thought of, something that met my skill set, something that I knew someone who was doing it, so I got some background, and that I fell in love with, and I've been doing it for 10 years.
That's awesome.
Wow. So for me, I would say if it started at a young age, the distinct core memory of me that just popped up was helping I had two grandmothers, one maternal, of course, paternal granny, which I called her, used to do commodities. And so I used to help her do commodities. And I remember bagging these commodities. And again, it was assisting her. But for me, as a child, 8, now I don't know how young I was, but I just remember bagging them, and she taught me how to bag foods too, which is why I needed that. And being down there and seeing her, whether that was part of the job, I didn't know at the time, give those commodities to people that need them, and see her interact with this public sparked something in me, right? So seeing her, and I know at a young age, I knew that they had a need, and she was providing them with the need. And then the banter back and forth of fellowship of, I know her, she knows me. How are you today? The relation between public figures is very important to the normal individual, right? In the community. So that, as well as other things with my maternal grandmother as well, just helping, right? So just helping is always the first step in volunteerism, correct? So as a child, I was always that way. So I would say my grandparents watching them give back in either through their employer and or their extra hobbies, and just reenacting that throughout the course of my life.
That's wonderful.
Hobby would be that for me. So
I would say that when I was a teacher, learning from the sisters how they gave back to the poorest of the poor in their classrooms. Like Charlie needs a notebook.
Right.
Somebody needs crayons. Somebody doesn't have any of the school supplies. And you just kind of slip it in their desk and you make their world brighter. And just witnessing that helped me to find ways in education to really be with the kids and see their needs. We also had many parents who would do the commodities, get the food together, give it to the poorest of the poor. And that would just touch my heart because these were people that you would think they wouldn't be given anything, but they had everything and they wanted to give something to those who were without. So that's always been an inspiration. When we think of just getting started in being a volunteer, what advice would you give to a young person or anyone who just doesn't know how to start? Barb, what do you think?
I think that for people of different ages, whether it's the young child and often with a family member or a family friend, or someone, an older student in high school where there are service groups,
yes.
or, college kids and adults and on up, it would be just being alert for opportunities. Every kind of service, every kind of help, every kind of volunteering doesn't have to be with a big organization with lots and lots of volunteers.
Sure.
Volunteering is knowing that the person on the block has trouble walking and taking their trash can out to the curb and back.
Yes.
So I think it would be, you don't have to look for something gigantic.
Sure.
There's wonderful organizations, and if you have a connection, that's great. But it can be thinking of volunteerism as something that's just you are doing to help someone in some way.
Very good. Like that.
I love that. When she mentioned, Miss Murphy mentioned the helpfulness way that you do in small things. I think sometimes the word volunteering do become big, right? So we forget about every day you hold a door open for someone, correct? That's a form of volunteering your time.
Yes.
Those are small things. So, and then the other thing that I would say is try to be proactive and just ask, have a conversation, and I would like to say one because I love to talk on the phone. Emails are great, but I love to have the face with the person, hear the nuances in their voice, maybe the concern in your voice, or the hesitation. Then open up the dialogue for what is it that you see yourself do. A lot of individuals might not have the capacity to say that they have interest in a certain thing, and not knowing that your organization lines up perfectly with that because of the bashfulness, because of again maybe the heaviness that they think that the pressure of volunteerism brings. And so again, having those, maybe to some tough, maybe to others easier, and then I know Ms. Barr probably feel the same way. Since we know our volunteers, we can then pair you with a mentor, or a guide, if if that seems to be a heavier word. It's at the end of the day, it's about the connection. It's about to spark that connection and let that connection be whatever it chooses to be outside of me and this box. That's what we want to see. We want to see you get involved and then find your niche and just bloom from there. So then hopefully then you would then give back to someone that might have that same hesitation. Okay. So that's what I feel.
I love the way both of you made it so simple. You open your eyes, you look around, and who needs help? Who needs you?
Yes.
And from there, it just kind of triplicates. You reminded me of a sister that I live with who she can't get out, but she calls people every week on Monday, a certain number of people, and then she reports about what she finds out, just so that people get a love call. You know, I'm interested in you. How are you?
Yes.
So even as we get older, those are things we can do from the comfort of our home.
Yes.
Well, before we close, what's one thing you'd like to leave our viewers with today that maybe came to your mind, you forgot to say, or you just think, one last thing I really want you to know?
Sure. When I was thinking about volunteering, and what makes a good volunteer, something that you're at the end, you're at the part where you're recruiting volunteers, training volunteers, mentoring volunteers, all that kind of stuff, is again the both and of you may try something and it doesn't fit, but the importance of volunteers being dependable. Once you find a place, if you say you're taking your neighbor's trash can out,
Yes.
do it consistently. And when you're dealing with people in different situations in life, dealing with them with a great deal of respect. I think it's important to recognize volunteerism is not doing to, it's doing for, it's doing with.
Yes.
And that has to do with respect, and it can have to do with confidentiality.
Yes.
And I think that those are important things to remember as we are considering how we might want to reach out and help and serve, and figure out where you fit in that, because I think those are important components.
Very much so. Thank you.
I think for me, again, to align with Ms. Barb, is that time, right? People's time is valuable. It's something you cannot get back, right? And so that's where we, again, take the nuances ourselves, as far as me, being very mindful of that you are giving up a consistent amount of time to something that you totally believe in, is dedicated to, is committed to. And so that is extraordinary, right? In itself, if you was to even just take it on the surface and or a deeper aspect of it. And knowing that time is being taken away then from with their family, with the friends, and they choose. It's an act of choosing every day to do this. And so we continue to nurture that, appreciate that. And I know Ms. Barr knows this. Volunteers that really volunteer do not want to be rewarded in an award type of recognition.
Oh, man.
We do, though, give award ceremony, and they don't want all the pageantries, right?
Hey.
But we want to show our deepest gratitude by just even the thought, extend that to the awards and things, but understand how grateful we are. In my form of work, we call these volunteers core crew volunteers who come up, and they're the backbone and the heartbeat of what we do. And without them, business could not go on as usual, because again, these are the volunteers that wake up and look to come out and look to get back. So I would just be respectable, be courteous, things that we were taught. Our morals and values align with, to treat people with respect, like Ms. Barb said, and show up where they are and give them the room to be who they want to be.
Yes.
And that's where we are of service with each other. Like you said, we are with each other when we do that. So,
Well, I sure appreciate both of you, Barb and Kelly, for being a part of our chat today. You fill my heart with the word joy, because I can tell that there is joy in what you do.
Yes.
The other thing I heard very strongly was you get back more than you give. And that is just so true about being a volunteer. So thank you. And I can only tell the sisters that we will continue to pray for you and in your ministries, because I feel like you're part of it. Our team now, just talking to us about everything like that, you do. And so thank you. And to our viewers today, we thank you for joining us for this Sister Chat. May you be encouraged to look around and open your eyes and see how God might be calling you to be a volunteer. And thank you for checking in and volunteering to watch this Sister Chat with us. Goodbye.